You are now tuned in to the Chop Shop. I'm Retro. Let's get it. We in the Chop Shop. We live in the Chop Shop. We talking sports talk. We live in the Chop Shop. We in the Chop Shop. I'm talking sports talk. So turn your dials up. It's live in the Chop Shop. We in the Chop Shop. We live in the Chop Shop. We talking sports talk. We live in the Chop Shop. We in the Chop Shop. I'm talking sports talk. So turn your dials up. It's live in the Chop Shop. Yeah, it's lit in the Chop Shop. Turn your dials up in the drop top. They ain't based the debate, but they keep it fact straight. Going 30 for 30. Let's do a first take on Facebook Live from 12 to 2. Rob Hatter and Jim Hicks going back and forth like Carter Ray, Skip Bayless, and Stephen Smith. From on the court, off the court, straight to the field. Not a man that steals, but I made it steal. To the octagon where I fight to kill. We go face to face, then you write your will. I don't play tennis, but I bring the racket. I'm on the floor, I attack the basket. Put you in the casket when I'm overlapping. Never showing mercy, cause I'm always snapping. Never showing mercy when I'm in the arena. Step into the ring, you see me as I beat him. Step into the court, I'm never backing down. Killing competition, I'm smacking down. Let me get back to the other stuff at the Chop Shop, cause they cutting up. It's Retro coming to you live to the Chop Shop. Now let's turn it up. Yeah, we in the Chop Shop, man. Shout out to Jim Hicks and Rob Hatter. You can catch the Chop Shop live from 12 to 2 on Facebook Live. Let's get it. We in the Chop Shop. We live in the Chop Shop. We talking sports talk. We live in the Chop Shop. We in the Chop Shop. I'm talking sports talk. So turn your dials up. It's live in the Chop Shop. We in the Chop Shop. We live in the Chop Shop. We talking sports talk. We live in the Chop Shop. We in the Chop Shop. I'm talking sports talk. So turn your dials up. It's live in the Chop Shop.
H-Town, what's up? You know what time it is. It's time for the best 120 minutes of your day. The Chop Shop, the nation's #1 urban sports talk show, and also your midday sports happy hour. Yours truly, Robert Hatter, alongside Jim Hicks, coming to you live from Houston, Texas, but we broadcast all over the world, bringing you the latest and the greatest on sports and entertainment. And Jimmy, let me tell you, the NBA is back tonight. You know what, Jimmy? You know what they say, absence make your heart grow fonder? I really missed the NBA over the last few days, man. You know, after that great All-Star weekend, I'm really missing the NBA. Welcome, everybody. I see you. I got Derek Johnson and that dude is on the YouTube page, Jimmy, and I got Ashley. We got some people they're coming in one after the other, Jimmy. So on the Facebook feed. So what's up, everybody, Jimmy? What you got today? Which way you want to go today? I know we got a packed day. You're gonna try to get us in and out of here. What we got?
I mean, get right into it. Of course, we got, we'll make a quick lap. It's Baby Friday. Happy Baby Friday to you guys out there. Let's just dive right into it.
What you want to dive into?
First, you mentioned the NBA.
Yeah, it's
back in action tonight.
It's back.
Doubleheader on TNT. I think Brooklyn and Philly, followed by the Rockets and Golden State. The Rockets and Golden State, of course, that's a late game. 9:30 scheduled tip-off for that game. It's on TNT. I was looking, and of course, some of the stuff about the Rockets I was looking, and Russell Westbrook, only Damian Lillard is scored more points or averaging more points since the turn of the new year. Only Damian Lillard, right? And this Rockets, the small ball, they went all in. They've had an opportunity to practice together with the new players, and we'll get to see it in place. And guess what? Steve Kerr came out and said he hinted that he's really not a big fan of this small ball, and everybody's like, show us and see. But then it's ironic of all of the teams.
Steve Kerr said he not what?
Yeah, he said like he's not really. He hinted in a interview the other day.
In this version of small ball.
He said if anybody can pull it off, it's Mike D'Antoni. So he came back and kind of corrected himself. But in other words, he was basically hinting to me that the way I got of it is like, with these players that you got, I'm not buying into it. But if anybody can make it happen, it's Mike. So I'm amazed that this Golden State team. Remember now, Mark Jackson had this team first. Well, the core of the team, ain't only like 3 or 4 players from the original Golden State Warriors from the Mark Jackson short-lived era. Well, nobody believed that Golden State would win a championship with their rendition or their vision of their style of play, the way they were doing it. So if anybody should believe in and understand or respect it, it should be Golden State, because the world was like, man, ain't no way in the world that this team would be able to sustain a championship pedigree playing like they're playing. Remember that with Steph the first year. How dare what is this teaching our kids to shoot the ball like this? Know what it taught? If it wasn't for Steph Curry, we wouldn't be seeing the door wide open for Trey Young. And who knows who's to come after Trey Young. That's the truth. Remember, we had Ray Young, Trey's father, on the Chop Shop last year. And that was one of his inspirations or influences was a Steph Curry. So now you think about it. Think about all of this pushback. People forget once they win 3 titles, then everybody act like they never said nothing. But going into that first one.
Charles Barkley was the main one. Charles Barkley was their biggest hater. You're not going to ever win like this. You can't win no basketball. Man, let me tell you something, man. If that ball going in the hole, that's what I was telling you about the Rockets. If the ball going in the hole, they win. If it don't, they don't. That's why I don't even get remotely upset about it no more, because if the Rockets, you remember, I never forget, 0 for 27 and you lose by a couple of points. Dude, that stuff don't happen all the time. So guess what? Normally professionals don't go 27 shots without making a basket. Professionals don't. So, I mean, hey, let me tell you something. You live by the gun, you live by it, you die by it. Whatever you live by, you die by it. So, hey, it's going to be exciting. I am glad let me tell you something. I'd rather get up and go to watch the Rockets play than a lot of these teams in the NBA. That's winning. I'd rather go watch the Rockets play than them. That's just my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, so that's of course in action tonight, and it'll be fun to see the Andrew Wiggins. You know what? I like Golden State for Andrew Wiggins, and because it was nothing else he could get from the people had basically just were discouraged with Wiggins in Minnesota. So now he gets to come there, and since he's been there, I think Wiggins is averaging 23 points. He's shooting over 55% from the field.
Dead last, Jimmy. They dead last, Jimmy.
They was dead last when they got him.
Okay, so he ain't going to
Okay, put it like this. In the NBA, Andrew Wiggins, since arriving in Golden State, is shooting 53% from three-point land. That's transferable based on the style that they play.
How many games have he played?
He played about 5?
He played that many?
The
trade deadline was right before. It ain't that many games.
Look it up and see.
That's not a good metric. Coach, I usually give 10 games before I give a metric. But if you want to give those little couple of games, I'll let you have it.
I'm going to look it up and see. Wiggins.
Yeah, you can look it up. Because Mindy Collins said whatever Charles Barkley says, the opposite happens. Kimber has never won against LeBron. I guarantee you. You're right, Mindy. You're right. Yeah, but Charles Barkley said the small ball. Because Charles Barkley, in his defense, he was a pound and ground dude. He was a pound and grind dude. That was the kind of guy he was. So I understand, his stance because he got
3 games.
3 games.
3.
Yeah, I knew it wasn't that much. I knew it wasn't that many.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I said about 5 in 3 games. And I'm saying 53% from 3-point land.
Yeah. It's gonna average out. Hey, put a note after 10 games and let's see what
He's
happens.
not going to. We don't expect him to finish the season with over 50%. Hell, if he's over 40%, that's a super plus.
If he's 37, I'm all right.
So that means, and understand, because they getting fresher legs. He's not Andre Iguodala, but he has Andre Iguodala legs and Andre Iguodala athleticism that to go back into the mold to give them what Andre Iguodala gave them for his output per minute. Not the intangibles, not the toughness, not the leadership, but the other stuff. He can match that. They will get the rest because know why? Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, and especially Draymond Green, they have acquired some supreme wisdom over the past 5 seasons that they didn't have back then.
And Jimmy, when them 2 dudes get back, when them 2 all-stars get back, can you imagine how the floor gonna be open up for this guy? When them dudes get back now. Steph and Klay. See, like I told y'all, man, players mean so much. I know people think, Jimmy, like in all walks of life, people think, if my son had that many shots that he's getting, maybe he'd be the star. If my son had that, look here, them guys at Golden State Warriors, they getting all the shots now and getting their head tore clean off the bone. So it's a difference, ladies and gentlemen, in this in the different skill levels of people in this league. And people even in high school, Jimmy. Because Jimmy, I hear it. Man, if my son got them many shots, it's hard LJ Crowd getting maybe. Mom and Dad, it don't work like that. Doug Jones, help him. It don't work like that. And I'm just trying to get you out of a whole lot of anxiety that you don't. Jimmy, I'll never forget. I got a high school story. I think I told you that. Jimmy, when son got to school, right? Me and him went shopping for him some shoes to wear for the season, right? So, Jimmy, he said, I want them, Dad. He said, but can I get the whole team them? Those kind. I said, hold on, let me make a call. Hey, Todd Holmes, I made a call to Nike. I got the kids' size and say, hey, man, I don't know how many people were on the team. I need these shoes for this team. It's 10th grade. I got the shoes, gave them to the team. No coaches, Jimmy. Do you know not one parent on the team told me thank you? Let me repeat that. Jimmy, not one. Guess what one parent I heard said? The only reason he bought the shoes so his son can play.
Really?
Baby, he the best dude on this side of town. How the hell he ain't gonna play? But that's how delusional parents are. She didn't think to say, wait a minute. And you know what? You know how people, I think Sadea said, I haven't spoken or seen them people again. I never spoke to him again when in his high school career, and I haven't seen those people since. But Jimmy, it's amazing how people, when Sadea said it the other day, it's just amazing how people can carry grudges and not like you just because your son is better than their son. Hey, y'all, that's life. You ain't LeBron's mama. You ain't Damian Lillard's mom. So guess what? Somebody might be better than little Johnny. So it's okay, Jimmy. And Jimmy, that just came out of my mailbox a little bit, and some people was talking to me about it a little bit. It's sad, Wendy. I promise you, because I was gonna front. Guess what, Wendy? I didn't buy no shoes no more. No, she messed it up for everybody. She messed it up. I didn't buy. Guess what, Jimmy? I went to school and went to Foot Locker, bought my son his shoes, and that was it. So 2 more years, them guys could have been getting free shoes or complimented shoes. I'm saying complimentary shoes. And just parents, that's why y'all got to watch your mouth. Watch your mouth. The coaches got people, parents, the coaches got people all over the arena. Cousins, everybody, the coaches hear everything. Leave whatever you got to say and try not to say it to your son. Say it to your husband in the privacy of y'all room, because it'll carry on to the kids. You got kids, Jimmy, going to state championships right now, on the regional championships right now. And it's sad when a coach have to tell you, Robert, we got a good enough team to go. The players in the locker room can get us there. What I'm afraid of is the influence, outside influence. That's an interesting thing that I've heard from several coaches in this area. They say that ride home is a very influential ride. So parents, if you're out here hearing me now, whatever you was doing, stop it. Shut up. Be quiet. Let these kids go be great next week, Jimmy. Please, Jimmy. That's my plea today. Jimmy is the high school basketball guru, but I'm the parent. I've been a parent. Let me tell you something. Think about what I just said now. I bought the whole team shoes, Jimmy. Not the coaches, Jimmy. My son was one of the best players in the city, but I bought the shoes so my son can play. Wow. Unbelievable. So that's what's going on out there, man. Jimmy, I'm sorry. Somebody hit a nerve. Somebody hit a nerve on me. And I know, Jimmy, see, this your business. But I got a passion for these parents because I was one. So I'm trying to do everything. That's why I ask you questions. I try to do everything I can to help the parents. Everything I can from my point of view. So I hope that help parents. Shut up. Leave them coaches alone. What else you got, Jim?
I mean, I understand. One thing I'm gonna let you know, parents, you could do whatever you want to do with your kid, whom your name is on the birth certificate. Just understand that there's consequences to everybody's choice, but it's your kid. And conversations that the lack of conversations that transpire between the parent and the kid is one of the most overlooked problems in the culture of grassroots sports. Here's what I mean. A lot of the times, like how do you mention that ride home from the gym?
Yes, sir.
After the loss or after the disappointment by the parent that the young fella didn't shoot enough or didn't score enough or didn't perform well enough. That ain't a conversation really, because probably it's going to start like this. You're going to ask him, hey man, why you pass the ball to so-and-so? Why you gave him the ball? And then when that kid answers, the rest of the way is going to be the parent talking and the kid looking out the window to the right, just looking there with one to just say, man, I know I shouldn't have said nothing. So that's not a conversation. You're venting and it's one-sided. I'm talking about the lack of conversations. If you're a parent out there, when is the last time or how often in 2020 have you had a conversation with your kid about the sport they participate or compete in? That's the aha. Because that'll make you wake some of you guys up. Because for that matter, the reason I say it, why it's important, is because at some point, you may not even know it, but your kid may not even like the sport no more.
Mm.
And once it becomes not fun, it's business to you, but to the kid, he don't understand business. He's not. Hold on. Do your son or daughter pay? Do you give them a checkbook and they write the checks out for you? You got to sign them. Do they pay any? I mean, I'm not saying we know they don't work, but do they even are they even included in the process of paying a bill? No. So how are they not included? For the same matter, you don't expect them to be included in your grown folk decision, but you still must know. You must find out, hey, how it go today? You know, it's all right. Stop taking or stop asking questions that require or that only minimally require a one-word answer from your kid. Mm. You have fun today? Yeah. How did practice go? Good. You see? No. Stop. You can't do it. Let's go further than that. I'm saying, hey, what happened that day? I heard y'all from the outside. It was going good. It sounded like y'all was having fun. What happened? See, so now he got to answer you in a different manner. You see, that's just a start, but you have to find a way to make your kids be able to feel like if they indulge in a conversation with you, that it ain't a trap. You can't trap them. Then they're going to close back up. Mm-hmm. And then guess what? When they leave you, go in their room, close the door, put their headphones on. Know what they're going to do? Get on the phone. They're going to text and start communicating, DM with that one person who they think they can open up to. Mm. A lot of you parents, the kids don't talk with y'all because they don't think that you understand them.
And Jimmy, it's just so unique. And I understand everybody. Let me tell you something. Everybody love their baby. Everybody love their babies. But let me tell you something. And always consider when you're on a team, that coach has to care for every last one of those kids. He had to make a decision for every kid, not just your kid. And I understand you just thinking about yours. I learned something long time ago, Jimmy, from John Lucas. John Lucas, they was deciding they wanted me to go to, when Robert was young, they kept trying to, get ready to go in the 9th grade. They wanted him to go to this school, go to this school, go to this school, go to this school. John told me to ask the coach. He said, ask a question. He said, coach, and I said, coach, the coach said they're going to put the ball in his hand, right? The coach going to put the ball in. John said, do me a favor. He said, you tell the coach to say that in front of every last one of the parents. You hear me, Jimmy? He said, tell the coach to say that right in front of you and in front of every parent.
You're going to put the ball in his hand.
You're going to put the ball in his hand. You tell that coach that. The coach ain't going to be able to do that. So don't go for that mess. So parents, understand in basketball, in case you didn't know, everybody got roles they play. Everybody can't be the star. Jimmy, at the All-Star game, how many players was there? 25 of them. The rest of the 450 other players were gone on vacation. Jimmy, let's go again, because I think that went over their head. Jimmy, the All-Star game had 24 supposedly, but 25 because Damian Lillard got hurt and they added Devin Booker. So 424 of the best players in the world, B. Scott, did not make it. 90% of the players in the NBA are role players. They play a role. On your high school team, everybody has a role. So you can't get mad at little Johnny because his role, B. Scott, I'm glad you're on here. L.J. Crier's role is to make sure his team wins. He the point guard. Guess what a point guard's job, B. Scott, is? Number one thing, point guard, is to make sure you get the ball to the best player. Control the tempo. Be a defensive wizard. That's 3 of their main responsibilities. B. Scott, what if the point guard is the best player on the team? So guess what? He got to get the ball to who, Jimmy? Himself. Let me hit that horn one time. Oh, let me hit the horn. Sometimes, if you the best player, your point guard happen to be the best player, sometimes you have to get the ball to yourself. So when people don't understand, just understand your role. If you're a defense, like I told you, Jimmy, a coach came and told me, hey man, I thought you said this dude was a defensive stopper. I come to the game and dude tan a can of whoopers on him, Jimmy. And I said, Coach, I didn't tell you that this dude told. He said, yeah, I'm mad at him, but I'm bending to you. Hey, y'all, everybody's not going to be a LJ Cryer, a Tremont Marks, or Marvin Williams. Just be the best. Be the best. Who don't mind me? Be the best you can be in your role. Be the best Reuben Jones. Reuben Jones can go whatever he wants to on any team he wants to. On that particular team, I can know Ashley don't mind this. He's being the best Reuben Jones. I never forget, Ashley. Greg Wise, your son was in the 9th grade. And I said, who is that little dude right there? He said, yeah, he going to be all right. 9th grade. He going to be all right. And I kept watching him over the years. But I watched the kid play his role. And that's all I'm saying, Herb Baker. Because I keep hearing so much, parent. Man, if you got more many shots as he got, maybe you'll be. Maybe, dude, you've been doing this for 4 years and ain't nobody came to the school to see you. Man, just chill out, parents, and just hope in your 12th grade year or your 11th grade year, you, like Jimmy said, you go far enough in the playoffs. Who was that didn't have you said didn't have a scholarship, Jimmy, during the play? Jonathan Jordan.
Yeah.
Daniel House and all of them had the scholarship. He didn't have one. They kept winning in the playoffs. Kept winning. So you go tell little Johnny tonight, before next week start, you go tell your little son, hey, man, go be an all-star in what you do. Guess what? Have you ever led the team in rebounding? Have you ever been the defensive player of the team, of the game? Have you ever been the best hustler on the team? That's the stuff that's going to advance you through the playoffs, Jimmy. So, I promise y'all, this was not on my mind, but it's on my heart today because I know a lot. Doug tweeted something out this morning talking about a lot of these first round matchups that are very, very even. These 1s and 4s, Jimmy, ain't too far apart. So if you don't bring your butt, if mom and dad and you at home messing with these kids and talking about everybody, and coach ain't this, and that, hey man, mama, you're gonna have a very, very short stay in these playoffs. Because that kind of stuff gonna rear its ugly head, Jimmy. Jimmy said, ain't no such thing as a bad game in a big game. Parents, that stuff will rear its ugly head. Go pray, get on your knees, and repent. I ain't mad at you. I know you done done it. It's okay. Repent and say, son, go in there and be the best you can be these next few weeks. But that's it, Jimmy. What else you got?
No, that's not it. No, you got some more left in the cup. Don't drink it all out. Pour it all out the cup. Don't stop right there. Rose on the team. Rose on the team.
Oh, Rose on the team. My bad. Okay. Rose on the team. Okay. All right. Okay. Let's say that's one of the reasons I love, and I use them as an example. Morton Ranch. I use them as an example. Jimmy said it the other day. He said, it seemed like them dudes be about to break their neck to get LJ Cryer the ball. Guess why? They know he gonna make the right decision with it. So LJ's role, y'all, I told you I went to the game the other night. He got everybody involved in the first half. You know, guys was missing shots, missing layups. He didn't get down. He just looked up at that clock and said, we are by one against this team. I know we can beat the brakes off. So what I got to do, I'm a point guard, B. Scott. I got to get the best player of the basketball. Let me repeat that, coach. That's going to go over some people's head. I'm the point guard. My job is to get the best player the ball at the opportune time. Sometime I'm in high school, I might not make the perfect decision because I'm in high school. But it's pro point guards don't make the perfect decision. But that's primarily my position. If I'm a defender, guess what? I'm going to be the back. Jimmy Hicks, I know, has said something about some kids on this team. These guys are defenders. Man, be the best defender you can be this week. All you guys going down there trying to do the LJ and all, you ain't did it all season. Don't do it now. Do what you've been doing. And Jimmy, I see so much of it in coaches, in parents. Some coaches don't have it, the wherewithal to sit down. Everybody ain't like Greg Wise. Greg Wise gonna tell your butt from the beginning, day one, hey, this how it is. This who parents in basketball is hierarchies. Scoring hierarchies. Certain guys going to get the most shots. Because guess what? In practice, he probably make the most shots. Parents, y'all don't go to practice. I've been to practice and seen some of y'all sons. Bless y'all heart. So right now, all I'm saying, nothing against nobody. But the rising tide raised all the ships. So if LJ win, Wesley Saunders win. Dylan wins. All of Ethan wins. That's on every team in the city, parents. If your son hasn't did it in this many years, it's Jimmy. What's my favorite word, Jimmy? You know a man when you look at his history. If a guy been making straight A's all through his life, there's a great chance he might straight A's in life. If a kid ain't never scored over this amount of points consecutively and consistently, as Jimmy said, in his life, it's a great time. He just might not. It's okay. But guess what, Jimmy? I ain't never heard a coach say, man, don't get no more rebounds. I ain't never heard a coach say, man, don't get no more steals. We don't need no more steals. I ain't never heard a coach say, hey man, we got enough 50-50 balls. I don't need nobody. Don't go get no more. Coach, I told you what they told me a long time ago. I learned this. My partners was getting mad at me on my team. They didn't say nothing to me. They told Coach, man, how to shoot too much. Guess what Coach told him, honest? He said, did he miss any? He said, yeah. He said, consider every one of his misses a pass to you. Go get the rebound. He said, go get the rebound. So I'm sitting there saying, man, in this time, parents, it's certain roles. It's no time to be a Jimmy. It's no time to be the hero. I'm going to tell you where you can be. This is what you tell little Johnny tonight when you're cooking dinner. But time to be the go get 10 rebounds. Go get 4 steals. Jimmy, there's a lot of them left on the table, Jimmy, there's a lot of them left on the table. So that's all I got to say, man. It's and I'm not just talking about, hey, excuse me. I'm just not talking about Martin Ranch. I'm using Martin Ranch as an example. Every team in this city, Shadow Creek, Hightower, who else? Sharpstown, Fob team who got to play itself in, Matey Creek. Parents, y'all are so important to these kids, man. They listen to y'all. That's why I never told my son nothing negative against the coach, nothing negative against the program. He'll tell you, come on this show. I never told him nothing negative. All I kept telling him, man, control what you can control. Control the. Guess what I asked him, Jimmy? I said, you know what? It ain't been but one man. This is why I used to tell Robert. This is sneak, y'all. Ain't but one man in NBA history as a point guard, because my son was a point guard, that led, that was the defensive player of the year. Only one point guard, Robert Hatter, that's what I told him, has been the defensive player of the year. That's what I want you to be. If y'all ever see him, ask him. Guess who that one man is? Gary Payton. He's the only point guard to ever in the NBA history to ever be the defensive player of the year. Guess what? That's possible for your son to be that. So that's all I want to say about it, Jimmy. I got to give me a drink of water now, man. I'm in this hot sweater. I'm over here sweating.
All right. Now, Rose, guys, understand that the reason it's important about this Rose topic is the fact that a lot of parents, a lot of kids will be venturing into the grassroots sector very shortly. Some already have. And on your high school team, you may have one primary role and everybody has primary and secondary roles. Well, on this grassroots team, the role is likely to change for the vast majority. Put it like this. At the high school level, the 17 and under level, more importantly, pretty much every 17 and under team that will be comprised, that's currently being comprised, I'm willing to bet you that the vast majority, all 5 starters, will have led their high school team in something. I say it again. Mm-hmm. The vast majority of the grassroots teams that are being comprised at the 17U level, the starting 5, that means of most teams, the majority, their starting 5 will have, each of their close players will have led their high school in one category. He may be, in other words, out of those starting 5s, probably 3 of those probably made all district. So now, when you talk about the sneaker teams,
Okay. Come on now.
The sneaker teams, the starting 5s, at least 4 of the starting 5s will probably be all state or all region. See how the levels go? That means the 6, 7, 8 guy off the bench will be the first team all district equivalents that the non-sneaker teams normally all 5 of their starters are. Those guys are coming off the bench for the sneaker teams.
Jimmy, that's a good. Hold on, I got to give you a horn on that one. Now go again.
I'm opening your eyes because some people, you don't have to pay attention. I'm gonna wake you up to help you pay attention.
Okay, all right.
So that means now what you do, you're looking, and this guy that played in your district, I made MVP, so I'm with the sneaker team. I'm the 8th guy. The guy that made second team all district, not even first team, in my same district, I top 30 on his team. He's playing on the independent team. The starter leading them in scoring.
Boy.
He's leading them in scoring and winning. I'm the 9th guy on the sneaker team. I was all district. I was MVP of the district. Now this guy, so understand, coming back into the season, that young man, playing. Neither one of us got no Division I offers.
Okay.
We're in the same boat. He's playing. He's getting better. I'm waiting on the opportunity. While he's getting better, I'm getting product. He's getting better. I'm getting product. I'm getting a duffel bag or some gear. I'm getting shoe boxes.
Okay.
If shoe boxes float your boat, then guess what? Roll your boat gently down the stream. You just guys have to make wise decisions. If you're having conversations with your kids, then you will understand exactly what they want before inserting yourself into the equation and saying what you want. If the common objective is to obtain an offer, I understand everybody out there wants a Division I offer.
Yes.
So if that's the initial common goal, then how the hell are you going to get that Division I offer being the ninth guy? At the sneaker circuit games, understand this, guy. There ain't many Southland Conference coaches that have the time to expend at all of the sneaker events. They're gonna go back to their region and go to one of those other events because they're gonna go and they know that right now that even that guy that's the 7th, 8th guy on the sneaker team is gonna thumb his nose at the Southland or the SWAC. They're going to do that. So guess what? They will decide they will wait. And they'll wait till maybe the last circuit. After you went through the rigors, now I go and check him out in July. You know, now I'm talking about, now don't get it twisted. I'm talking about the masses. And they will go and they'll put their efforts behind them at that point, because then reality is starting to set in, and most of us remember our last. Remember our first, remember our last. Right. So they remember if you remember the first offer, you remember the last offer. All you guys know what I'm talking about. You don't remember everything in between. You see? So it's a method to this. You guys, people, whatever your sons did as high school team, that don't always translate over to the grassroots circuit. There's some, I hear it all the time. Man, they playing my kid out of position. They playing him out of position. Okay, let's take Baylor, for example.
Work it, Doc.
Number 1 team in the country, right? Baylor.
Yes, sir.
So let's say, for example, that Matt Mayer thought he's supposed to be a 2 guard or a 4 or whatever coming into Baylor, and he gets there, they're winning. They have to, and you're not playing much, but they're winning, and then they utilize you in a method to where they can help them win. As a parent, you care about minutes per game. The kid, he cares about minutes per game. She cares about minutes per game. So guess what? So now, if you want to say, well, coach, tell me the kid to go and the parent. Which one of y'all going to tell the coach in college, if my kid ain't playing the point, don't even put him in? But at this level, we're not playing him right. But he's playing. He's getting the opportunity to get better. That you're not utilizing right. That may be true. That merely may be true. But if a baller, listen, it's different between playing basketball and balling. Hoopers, those are synonymous. Not playing basketball. If you a hooper or if you a baller, you gonna figure it out.
Yes, sir.
You ever play 5-on-5? You guys know what I'm talking about. Yeah. On 5-on-5, which one of y'all, when the last time you played the 4 in 5-on-5?
It doesn't matter. I played at 5, 4. That don't matter.
So when did this stuff get like this?
That's a great point, Coach.
When the last time you played and went to 24 Fitness or whatever, you played, and you said, you know what? I'm gonna play the 3, y'all. Know what you say? I got him.
Yes.
That's what you say.
Yes.
We done program these kids.
Great point.
And let other folk whose name ain't on their birth certificate program your kids to make them believe that they gotta do it this way.
Unbelievable.
You can say what you want about Clint Capella.
Mm-hmm.
I bet you can think of a whole lot of things Clint Capella can't do.
Mm-hmm.
But guess what he got? He got a $90 million contract for being a star in his role.
You preaching, real.
You think I'm joking? Go and look up University of Kentucky basketball, and I think they have the most first-round picks in the past 5 years running of any college out there, if I'm not mistaken. And guess what you're going to see? Go look at their stats. You got guys in the lottery that average 7 points a game.
Devin Booker came off the bench. Jimmy. Devin Booker came off the bench behind the Twins.
Understand this. It doesn't take much. People that are evaluating, at the higher the level, the higher the stakes, the more they know what they're looking for. I had a college coach was with me last week at the game. A kid shot the shot, and he missed the shot. You know what the coach said?
What?
Boy, I like that. I said, what you like, coach? Man, you see that? I like the form. I ain't worried about him missing the shot. That's what the shooting gun for.
Wow.
I like that. He followed through, followed the shot. I mean, they know what they're looking for. Not everybody, but most of them do. So you guys have to understand the pressures. And this was a topic that we said we was going to get into this week, and this is what we get into. Now we in it. The roles which lead to the pressures. The pressures. Most of the pressure, I teased it last week, most of the pressure you find is from the parent that have not saved money for college. The kid is not the Division I lock that they had hoped he would be. So now it's, what are we going to do? What are we going to do? So now it's everybody else's fault. That coach ain't doing nothing for my kid. That guy there, man, he ain't nothing either. This guy here, he don't like my kid. This here guy, he got him ranked too low. And that's why you're in this situation. Youth basketball. And I'm probably going to do an article on this in the magazine. I did not realize, I knew it, but I didn't realize it's among the lowest of the totem poles in youth sports for as how much it costs to play.
Yeah.
I mean, you factor in the trainings and the fees.
Oh, yes, sir.
Basketball is amongst the lowest of the 5 common sports. Hell, we can go to 7 common sports. Tennis, golf, hockey. You put them in there. Soccer. Football, basketball, and baseball. That's 7. Basketball is among the lowest of the lowest. So what you're saying, I've seen many of you parents got one kid play soccer, one kid play basketball, one kid, and I'm not going to throw cheerleading. God forbid if I throw cheerleading.
Oh my goodness.
If that ain't the biggest racket in the world. Racket.
Boy, I sure wish I know how to sew some of them little skirts up and them little outfits and them tutus.
Dude, the cheerleading and drill team has gotten coerced with the acting and modeling agencies. So they dangle that up under. That's why all of them make their faces up. So then you get there and they're going to go and recruit you. Oh, your baby is perfect for modeling from our agency.
And I don't like that, Jimmy. Them little girls be made up like grown women, man.
We'll say that for Women Rock.
Okay, we'll say that.
Bookmark that for Women Rock. Okay. We got that next week, Women Rock, we talking about that. Give y'all time.
Okay.
I didn't mention volleyball. Ogre, thank you. Volleyball. That's
my goodness, volleyball.
because they got men volleyball too.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, it's unisex. But understand, basketball is one of the lowest. So it's going to cost. Why do in our culture the parents want more from you than they're willing to put into it? That's what I said. And this was one of my taglines from 2019. And I say it again. Maybe I do need to say it again to some of you parents. Don't you ever think that my input is going to be greater than your output for your baby. Say it again. Don't ever expect for my input to be greater than your output. It ain't happening. It ain't happening. You shouldn't expect that from anybody. Half of these guys, half of the programs out here is basically another form of daddy daycare. They're keeping your kids, babysitting your kids while you go frolicking, do happy hours and whatever, and chilling, and they're taking care. So understand, they're going to feel attached and feel a sense, and they're going to develop eventually a sense of influence over your kid that you don't have because you don't conversate with your kids enough. I like that key word, enough, at the end. You don't. It's amazing. You could tell the ones that do, even after the games. Yeah, a lot of young boys are going to hug their moms and everything. It ain't, I can count them on. You watch. Next time you go in the gym, watch how the conversations are between the young boys and their fathers in the gyms. Watch who's doing most of the talking. Watch. Now, if that young boy wanted to go to the mall, or go get some sneakers, or go shopping, guess what he's gonna do? He know how to talk then. But we got to be able to talking helps with understanding. A lot of people I don't think a lot of people understand what they understand their kids. Next thing you know, you wake up one day, kid rolling out the house on the way to school with some looking like Dwayne Wade's son. Then what? Hell, you don't even know. You didn't know you didn't know what was going on? He wanted to always go to the movies with his little partners. You didn't realize what was going on? But back to the topic at hand, and that is people wanting more from you than they're willing to invest in their own sons or daughters. Guys, parents, understand something. For those who are in high school, it's still time. If you're in the 12th grade, it's still time. But the time is evaporating on you. If you have a son or a daughter in the 12th grade and they're unsigned senior, now it's the time. It's going to cost you. Now you have to factor it in. You're going to go to unsigned senior showcases. It's going to be anywhere between $75 and $150 a pop. But it's a quest to obtain a free scholarship. There will be colleges that will have open gyms, tryouts during the spring. Those normally take place around April to May. If you go to the right school and the right opportunity exists, guess what? If your kid you think he's a good shooter, it may be his day. He may hit 6 straight. It really don't take but 3. 3 of anything gets somebody's attention. 3 turnovers, 3 steals, 3 blocks, 3 buckets in a row. 3 in a row. And that's my rule of thumb. 3 in a row. So you guys can understand it's not the end. But I had a coach to call me yesterday. That was a young man from a Big 12 college coach hit me last night and asked me about an unsigned senior in the Greater Houston area. And so I don't tell coaches not to take kids, But what I do, I say, coach, and they know a lot of the college coaches know my vernacular. I say, coach, good. That's a good lick for you. Or I say, coach, go and proceed, but I can't co-sign that loan right now. The young fella has no Division I offers. Then why would I co-sign him for a Big 12 school out of state to spend their money to fly in to watch him play? Unless that coach is willing to come and watch about 3 or 4 other kids in the same trip. That's the only way. Otherwise, coach, I can't co-sign that. You do it on your own. And that's all. That's not telling him no. I can't co-sign it. Did they call the other Big 12 schools in the state of Texas? Baylor, Texas, Texas Tech, TCU? That's why I asked the coach last night. I bet they didn't call them and ask them to come recruit this kid. So why you? Because you're in last place. They figure you can use anybody. Say, coach, you need a player that can help you beat Texas Tech and Baylor. Otherwise, that's not helping you. That's helping the guy who tried to throw you a bone. Then when you get fired, then they'll say, oh, man, they ain't using right.
Oh, my goodness.
You see?
Oh, my goodness.
And so, shout out to Aaron Fox on the feed right now. I see you on there. It says, no, you're wrong. Why not?
What's up, Fox?
But I didn't know what he was talking about. But anyway, I see a lot of you guys, man, it's time now. If you hadn't done so, share the show.
Yeah, share the show,
right? Timelines and your friends so they can get a good dose of this on Baby Friday. And we're just giving you a lot of good stuff today, guys. And we'll come back and indulge more.
Yeah.
And matter of fact, I even went to the mailbag. You feel free if you got questions that you want to ask, post them on, in the Boom Boom Room on the timeline, or you can send us an email. You want to remain anonymous. ChopShopHTX@gmail.com.
I got one.
ChopShopHTX.
I got one from the email, Jimmy. Jimmy, I got one from the email. They need some help. All you pioneers in the AAU and summer ball sectors. They just said what are the tips would you give a person interested in starting a grassroots program? My son is on the 8U, and I know he's not ready for all the smoke. What's a good number of tournaments if they play in the tournaments? Should players' payments be month by month or by tournament? What should coaches have to pay for? Any other starter tips? Hotels and free meals was great to know the other day, Jimmy. But he loved the show. Somebody just wrote that.
Tips for starting a program.
Yeah, a program. I would like to get that from some of the people who started programs. Did you start a program, Jimmy, before?
Well, no, I didn't start a program. I coached summer ball for 2 summers back in 2000 and 2001. So the program was already started from my cousins.
Oh, okay.
But based on now, looking back, if I just give them, I really would love you guys who have programs. Aaron Fox is on the feed,
right? And
he just recently started Team Fox.
That's right.
That's in the namesake of their family, which includes De'Aaron Fox of the Sacramento Kings. But they just recently started one, I think, a year or so ago. That would be great because the times are different now from then. But first of all, starting a team at the young age is when it's good and pure. At that 3rd grade level that she mentioned, that the email, the mailbag person mentioned, that's when it's good and pure. So relationships with the parents are essential because at that point, every parent is coming out in maximum support, every family, meaning that every time a 3rd grader play, it's going to be extended family members there. It's going to be the grandparent or an uncle or brother or aunt or cousin in addition to the parents
Jimmy,
going to be there.
Jimmy, isn't that a little too young to start a summer program? Wouldn't it
No,
be?
they want them active. They want them active. If somebody,
But
I mean, think about
Jimmy, they got like the Quillen Center, like the Salvation Army and them still got in the boys club. Go let them little kids just have fun first, Jimmy. That's what I did. That's why Robert started playing basketball about, I think, around when James with the 9 years old. That's why he was so behind. All these other guys been playing since they was 2. But the YMCA leagues are a little bit more just to give him, because if he out there, because it's going to be some other teams, Jimmy, they going to be playing against, that's going to be rolling them dudes' head, because them little boys been playing since they've been 3. You follow me? So in my, just me watching it, I just don't think that 8 and under, I never liked it 8 and under. At least work the 9. Just give him 1 more year.
Well, different people have different bodies though at that age. I mean, they all little, but and also it depends on you, the parent. If you're the parent and you were an athlete, then you're thinking long game. You're thinking the long route. Meaning that let me go on and get my son active and find out. The quicker you get him introduced to a sport, the faster you know if he likes it or if he don't like it. And at that young age, they normally playing 2, at least 2. So you could tell, but the key to it for the younger kids that age is that they're having fun.
That's what I'm talking about.
So, but you don't know if they're going to have fun or not. Even if they lose, I saw the team, Lil Nico, them go out there and get their heads beat in. Lil Nico having fun.
But Jimmy, at the YMCA, I ain't saying you're going to learn. I know Fox said, I ain't saying you're finna learn no basketball. Just go out there and see if you like it. Go out, before you get to spending all that money. If you want to spend your money, go and spend your money. But make sure your kid knows, just having, the key thing is make sure you're having fun. Because sometimes that stuff can be a job to them kids that early. Man, some dads, Jimmy, see, we talking about regular situations. Some dads are demanding. Them kids, I had to explain to my son. I had different hats in his life, dads. It's a teaching moment. Because it helped me a lot. You have different hats you wear in his life. The most important hat you wear in his life, you his dad. Then you can be his coach and his trainer. Because sometimes my son used to confuse when I'm getting on him on the basketball court, I'm mad at him as a dad. He came in, thank God he came and talked to me about it. And then later on, we developed this thing after games, after losses. Me and him didn't talk about the basketball game after loss. You go over there and talk to your mom and them, all that. They can hug on you. What I did, Jimmy, I gave it a 24-hour waiting period. So then we'll come back the next day and talk about it. Because I've seen some parents, I know, Jimmy, I just told you, I had to talk to a kid and counsel a kid that said, man, I can't stand this. I like playing basketball, but when my daddy come to the game, then him always have a problem no matter what I do. So I don't want to play basketball in college. I just want to go, build rocket ships. And he's 6'6" and jump out the gym. But we don't understand as dads. I'll never forget Clyde gave me that. Clyde Smith, who was over the Jaguars. He said, man, let me tell you something, man. Don't you let these people, because I was coaching the team, don't you let the pressures of this team and these people make you lose your relationship with your son, because it hurt me and my son's relationship. Clyde told me that.
Absolutely. He
said, man, we got to watch it, man. Because we got to watch what we say to these boys, man. They hang out our every word. Jimmy, think about this, Jimmy. I'll never forget this. I used to think all the stuff that I used to tell my son, he don't listen. Because I'm always talking. I'm always sending him a text. I know if he go through his notes, he said he had to erase his notes because I didn't send him so many notes. So Jimmy, I'm sitting there talking to him all like. So we were up in Cornell one day. So the guy was cutting his hair, and one of the young men who came in was a friend of the guy who cut his hair. And the dude, the barber told me that the kid was having some little problems in school and having some problems with life and problems. I said, hold up. I ain't going to talk to him. I said, finish Robert's hair. Let Robert talk to him. Robert took the boy over in the corner and was talking to this boy. Jimmy, you would have think I was talking to this boy. Everything that I used to teach and talk to him about, he was talking to this little boy about, and it was coming from his peer. And the little boy was saying, he said, here's my number. I want you to call me. The little boy looked at him. You know, because Cornell is the only show in town. You giving me your number? The little boy listened. So guess what, parents? These kids, men, these boys hang on to every word we say. You remember we was talking about Kobe that week on the air. My son came on the show and said, I remember my dad told me Kobe outworked anybody. Don't never let nobody outwork you. He said that on the screen. I told him that a million times. I didn't know he was listening. Dads, man, don't make this basketball is not more important than your son and your son's life and y'all relationship. And I've seen a lot of them be tarnished and be fragmented because of this basketball. And like I told him, you got different hats you play in his life. Sometimes you as coach, sometimes you as dad. But most importantly, you as dad. But sometimes you as trainer, you might have to push him. Guess what? You're not you're not number. I told him you're not number 5 to me. You're Robert Hatter. You're not your number to me. You're my son. So I'm telling y'all, man, I know it sounds small, but dads, take it from me, because I got it from Clyde. Clyde Smith said, man, don't you let these other parents, because you know these other parents will get on you and you'll dog your son and talk crazy to your son and push your son too hard. Hey, man, them people going to go about their business. Like all them people who I've coached on my team, they've gone about their business, and me and my son are still here. So let me tell y'all something. Put this thing, thank you, Folk McDaniel, Slim. Put this thing in the proper perspective. If I have nothing else, if you've never heard anything, that stuff matters to them boys, man. What else you got, Jim?
Man, I was just looking at a clip that somebody just sent me.
Okay.
And you were talking to everybody, LJ Crowd earlier. Mm-hmm. He's in gym at his school on the shooting machine by himself. He just hit about 12 in a row. just you know, but in this topic, back to the role, I'm looking at some of the comments in the Boom Boom Room, and of course, you guys, we're streaming live simultaneously on the Facebook and YouTube right now. Yes, we are on YouTube, the same way you find us on Facebook, ChopShopHTX. There we are on YouTube. Shout out to you guys that's over there, Angela Holcomb, Kevin Drones, Martin John, Darryl Anderson, Ricky Scott. I see all you guys and a whole lot more.
Jim. Angie Holcomb so cold. She got it on both devices.
She got it on both? Wow.
Angie Holcomb is bad.
Now you mentioned something about and the thing that I want to ask a lot of you guys in the Boom Boom Room, and this is something that's important. That you said that Clyde Smith told you years ago and cautioned you about some things because he felt he had lost the communication bridge with his son as a result of the youth sports.
Yes.
As a parent, how can a parent tell? What are some things how do you know that you're losing or lost your kid,
Jimmy,
who's playing sports?
I don't know about that. He was just telling me how forceful in how hard he was pushing his son and being vocal and getting on him at the expense of other people's son, because he was a daddy coach. You follow me? So, I get on my son so I don't have to get on the rest of these kids because they mamas, you follow me? And he said, man, don't let these people coerce you in the messing up the relationship with your son, and them and their son is going home happy-go-lucky, because it damaged your son for life, especially at them informative years like that, because your son looking for daddy for everything. You are his hero, and his hero is hollering at him, and he can't do nothing right. If he travel, sit your butt on the bench. So you, as a dad, got to understand, Jimmy, I'm not saying nothing to look for, but dads, be very careful. Show your son love like he's your son. That's my advice, Jimmy, and not as a basketball player if you have to coach his team. You following him? You got to show. That's what I don't know the trigger points like you're saying, but just be a little bit more sensitive to your son's needs. That's what I was saying.
So, okay, for the parent that has the kid right now that's in the 11th grade, that's an upper teenager, a mid-teenager right now, and they may have already started losing that kid. So just by being nice, that ain't gonna rebuild the bridge.
Nah.
You have to be able to find out. That's what I'm saying. So so how do some of you guys? Now I'm looking right now. Mindy says that. I'm sorry. Angie says you've lost them or losing them when you go to speak basketball and the kids kind of roll their eyes.
Bingo. Who said that?
It's Angie Holcomb. That's one way. What can you guys post some other signs or point things that you can test to see if you still have them or not? Because this is what I'm looking from afar. Understand, guys, I have no biologicals. So that's why I'm asking you guys. Yeah. Only so far I can go in this conversation.
Yeah. See,
look at Jeremy.
Look at Jeremy.
History. Huh? So I understand how it could be some things, and I'm watching from afar, but we need your input now, because many of you guys may have known, especially the parent out there who may have lost their kid and reeled him back in.
Yeah.
Because how do you reel him back in,
Jimmy?
Because they ain't really trying to heal you.
Jimmy, I'm looking at Jeremy Cunningham. He said, the mistake I almost made was being too hard on KJ to show everyone else. This is what I'm talking about. I wasn't showing favoritism toward him. I was killing his confidence. That's me, Jeremy. I started loving him in front of the team and loving him as well, and rest is history. Jimmy, not being nice, loving him. Loving is different than being nice. Thank you, Jeremy. And that's what I found. Jimmy, I'll never forget, Jimmy. We were in Cocoa Beach, Florida. And all the stuff the parents went. Jimmy, we were in the dressing room. Y'all talking about parents gone wild? My little old bitty baby's in the dressing room. We in the locker room at halftime. The parents out there arguing and cussing and fussing with each other. When we came out the locker room, they had put the parents out. So my baby's saying, where my mom and them? So people tell them they got put out. Listen, Jimmy, I had to go through that stuff. You know me longer than you knew her. Why her son playing more than me? Jimmy, I had to go through this stuff. Jimmy, I'll never forget, Jimmy. After they left, I let them go by themselves. I said, y'all go back how y'all came. I drove my son. We went to Disney World. We was in Orlando because it's Cocoa Beach, Florida. I took him to Universal Studios, Wet n Wild. I saw what he was subjected to, and the stuff that he was subjected to. And I just said, man, I'm finna love on my son. You too young. No, you shouldn't be around stuff like that. That's the kind of stuff, mamas, we just don't understand that what we're doing out here. And we come up with an acronym called PGW, Parents Gone Wild. We saying that for a reason. We saying that for a reason. We saying you to check yourself. Jimmy, you remember the story I told you? I had to watch me on video one time. Y'all know how demonstrative I am, but I love them little kids together. But if you on the outside, when I saw me on video, I said, hell no, I never do that again. Then I tried to be like Pat Riley and didn't say nothing. Then the kid looked at me like, Mr. Hatter, you got to say something. No, but I didn't like the way I looked. So what we have to do, man, thank you, Jeremy, for sharing that with us. Because if you be a daddy coach, sometimes, Jimmy, you be hard on your son trying to prove, it tears your relationship up, man. Tears you up, man. What else you got?
And I mean, guys, this is I'm reading some more comments. Mm-hmm. And Kenneth Lofton says, my friend told me something years ago with my daughter. She told me, your daughter, she don't want you to coach her. She just wants you to be daddy. Find her somebody else to coach her. That's why a lot of people who started as coaching their kids, at some point, they kind of like those spaceships. At some point, it lets go and it keeps going on, blasting off into space. And that's what you see. They don't get it twisted. A lot of dads that went all the way through. But I know way more who let go than held on to the son all the way through. And one that held on all the way through, that even he'll stand firm and regret, and that was Rick Nelson with Doc Nelson. Rick held on all the way through. And not to say it was a bad thing, but Rick at the time, you can only imagine.
As a dad, Jimmy, it's a hell of a thing, Jimmy.
And the kid, and that's why Rick, he spoke during the Southwest Exposure Camp. He gave a testimony about that topic. That's why I brought Rick Nelson's name up during the camp back last July. And Rick says, he let him get this first school was on him, but now the transfer, this me. We're gonna make it. I'm just certain myself now, so that you can be able to help put you in a situation that may be more suitable for the relationship while you obtain your degree.
Right.
Now I'm looking at these are some great.
We got some great people on this feed.
Some great points, and keep the information coming, because we're looking for signs that how you could tell that your kid may have disconnected or disconnecting with you as a result of your sternness towards them in their youth sports endeavors. Clarence said, the mistake I made was teaching my son to play team ball, all about the team, not shoot it every time he touches it.
Is that a mistake?
I don't necessarily think
that's great.
I mean, it's because I'm curious, Clarence, why do you think that was a mistake, teaching them the team ball concept? Because if he understands the team ball concept, it will get him farther in life.
Yeah.
As opposed to shooting it every time you touch it, being more to the selfish note. Because if you shoot it every time you touch it, you better make it most of the times you shoot it. And that's a stern thing, because then the kid be confused. Like, well, hell, daddy told me to shoot it every time. No. Speaking of guys that are in the coach, that are how would you say it, that are popular in the coaching ranks, who had their sons that let go and coached them earlier. Byron Gibson had Daniel Gibson. He coached Daniel Gibson alongside James Clayton with the H-Town team based out of the Fundy Recreation Center.
Okay.
Right? Greg Wise coached Nick Wise early on and eventually let go. Man, there's so many of them, of dads coach their sons going all the way through. So many of them. And recently, L.J. Cry, you mentioned him earlier, his dad coached the summer team and stopped and let go at a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
There's a lot of guys that coached and eventually had let go. Had Jared Scales, rest in peace, from Triple J's Barbecue. He was coaching his son Dylan with the Gulf Coast Blue Chips and had let go, and his son went to the Fam Elite, right, program with Say Pay and those guys, and Lawrence Pay and the family, and I'm sorry, I said Fam Elite, yeah, that's the name of the program.
Yeah.
But it's a lot of people out there that made the decision to let go. I'm not saying everybody should do it.
Right.
No.
Right.
But the thing that's important is, to me, is keeping to sharing your experiences and how it can help other or someone to understand what and how to either reel that kid back in or keep them connected with you so that your kid can be able to have a conversation with you about something and you don't be the last to know. That's nothing worse, I guess, than a parent being the last to know something that's really simple. Think about it. Yeah, you might have a kinfolk might say, "Hey, I heard little Rob going to the Bahamas next week," and you'd be like, "What? For what, man? He going down there to have a big party, a birthday party down there." And you're like, "What?"
Yeah.
I know you guys know what I'm talking about.
I feel some type of way then, Jim.
But you get to find out news about your kid from somebody that damn sure shouldn't be even be in the first, second, or third order of pecking for them to get information about what's going on.
You sure know what to say.
So why couldn't he tell? Why couldn't he? You be thinking like, why couldn't he tell me this?
I'd be hiding catfish grease.
I thought we was all right. Now you thought you was all right because you ain't go through and check all of the traps to realize your kid may have disconnected from you and don't feel like they can talk to you about nothing because you're gonna do all the talking, and conversations involve at least 2 or more people.
Wow.
That's a conversation.
Wow.
Thank you, Phyllis Dallas-Morris, the Houstonians. I said H-Town. The Houstonians was their team from out of the Fundy Recreation Center.
Oh, yeah.
And those were the good old days. You know, teams like that. That might be a topic for next week. Why can't we have the same energy that they've derived those teams from out the boys club? Tyrone Mingo. Remember Kendrick Davis?
Jim.
He played with Tyrone Mingo.
Jim.
And their team was based out of the Salvation Army Boys Club of Aldine Westfield and Jensen. That team reared all the way up, but then guess what? That was it. There used to be the Fifth Ward, the Rap-A-Lot used to have a team that would play, but then eventually it fizzled away. So there goes our urban crutch for a lot of our kids that basically served and went above and beyond the call of duty. So now parents know what that means. A lot of y'all on your own, not necessarily on your own, but it's going to cost you now. It didn't cost as much with those guys. All hands were on deck. So now the game is changing, and it ain't really fun because the people that are dealing with your kids, you don't really know them. You see, you just met them in the gym last year, a couple of months ago. Don't really know them. See, those other teams that you formed, that was a basis. You knew them. It was a relationship. That's why a lot of those kids you mentioned, I saw on the timeline in the Boom Boom Room, people were reminiscing about the youth team, the Blue Chips. Those kids started in like the 3rd grade, out of the 3rd or 4th grade. It was all pure then. It was all pure. You have fun, you kicking. They were kicking butt too, but it was pure then. So they grew together. The relationships were there. When relationships is there, as long as nobody don't get Hollywood, and eventually it's going to be one that you're going to lose. That will have to go and fly the coop. He's going to be too good, probably, or need to be tested at a higher level.
But that's okay, Jimmy.
That's definitely okay. It's definitely okay. There's going to be one kid that might want to go play the flute. Hell, just likewise.
Yeah.
But being able, and there you go, Olga, Xavier Wheeler, Teddy Wheeler coached his son and let him go towards the end. You know,
Where he go?
John,
Where did he go toward the end? I thought Teddy coached that team.
he coached him in the 17U.
Yeah, who coached him? Rossi and him was coaching. What?
I thought you might be right.
Yeah,
you
we
might
been
be right.
to the
Rossi
game.
is the one. Rossi is the one
Rossi
that
was assistant. Yeah, Teddy used to coach that
Rossi
team.
pulled back.
Yeah.
So Teddy coached him all the way through.
Mm-hmm.
So, and also Phyllis says,
What Phyllis said?
sometimes parents that are coaches or sometimes have to step back. I had to tell one of my coaches, you can't be daddy and coach at the same time because it was tough on his daughter. A lot of parents, they really can't see that though, because sometimes as a parent, you might think that your kid is tougher than they really are. You may think that your kid can handle it. And at some point in time, this stuff becomes not fun. I'm going to tell you guys something. Once it ain't fun no more, it's hard to re-energize.
Reignite it.
It's to reignite it. Once it ain't fun no more, I'm telling you.
Hey, Jimmy.
And that's the thing.
Jimmy, I missed some yesterday. I missed Women Rock Wednesday yesterday. That's starting 5. So I just put them on the screen. But you keep talking. I just put them on the screen. Then I'm going to put the day starting 5 too. So I ain't forgot about y'all yesterday. But keep going. Keep going, Jimmy.
Madonna says she has a question from a coach point of view. What if you have a player that's being pushed too hard by his parent? That the player comes to basketball practice and to the game drained mentally. How do you approach that parent to tell them to take it easy on that kid? Parents, speak up. Boom, boom, boom. Where you at? Great question, Madonna.
How do you tell? Say it again, Jimmy, because I was trying to put that on the screen.
Okay, from a coaching perspective.
Okay.
You're coaching a program.
Okay.
And the parent, right? The kid comes to practice and to the games mentally drained. You can see it in their eyes. You can see the hurt. You can see the and so how do you approach that parent to let the parent know that they know that they're pushing too hard, to let them know to try to help solve it? How? What do you say to that parent?
Interesting.
Odyssey says you don't get involved. Is that true? Olga co-signed it. Say 100% correct.
Okay, keep going. I'm looking for something.
Gary Dotson says there is no blueprint on how to raise and communicate with your kids. All parents, homes, and kids are different. God has to be included in the parents and in the home. Right? Phyllis says, I just tell that parent that the kid will push, that they will push them from the sport. Let your kid do this because they want to play, not because you want them to play. Right?
Wow.
Dominique says over on the YouTube page, you will know.
I know it, Angie. I messed it up.
They look at you in conversations if they always look disinterested. It's a wrap.
Say it again.
You will be able to tell they're broken, almost like losing a play. That's in regard to the kids being disconnected. That was a comment about that. But these are great, great takes. And hopefully we can all take something from this and be able to help somebody else. This is the perfect time to tag a person that you may know. Same thing. You don't want to get involved in their business, but you can tag them right now in the boomer room. Just type their name in, and they'll come on in the conversation, and they'll get some, and they'll see it may be able to help them without you getting into their business. Because I understand. Think about it. Some of those parents be like, Coach, stay out of my business. You don't tell me how to raise my kid. Right?
Right.
Tell him, Kobe. Let me go see what Kobe talking about.
Man, leave that hound alone. Leave that hound alone. Leave that little hound over there. Go. He all right. Angie, I got you. Angie, my bad. Angie Holcomb. I call Angie Holmes. Angie, that was just a typo. I got you. But Jimmy, it's a unique topic. I didn't know about you was gonna bring up, and we was gonna get that in depth. But Jimmy, this is a great time of the year because right round the corner is summer basketball season. And it's gonna, guess what? It's gonna come after Friday night, after Monday, and Tuesday. It's gonna come to a close for a lot of kids, Jimmy. You follow me? It's gonna come to a close for a lot of kids. So tell them kids, mama, go out there and enjoy yourself. Son, go out there and play the hard. Leave all your energy on the floor this week. All your energy. Don't go tell him, I'm going to give you $20 if you score 20 points. Because if he ain't never scored it before in a high-level game, no, tell him, hey, man, you know your role on this team. Man, let's go take care of your business. Hey, Houston, hey, let's go. Let's stand up this time, Houston. You know, I got tired of them people. Jimmy, sticking their chest. I didn't go up there with you. I know they was tearing your head off up there last year. Because Dallas was just plucking everybody. Dallas won. And people bragged about it on the show. You know, they was on our show coming bragging about Dallas a little bit. But that's all, man. But great point. You got another point that came up? You saw another point that came up?
And I'm just looking at it. And they were messing with the puppy. She said, Angela said, get Scooby snacks.
Man, I told leave that little hound alone, man.
That's Kobe, y'all. Kobe. And you guys, Sandra got the puppy on January the 26th, and the day before her birthday, in a little dinner, she was surprised with the puppy that she had been long asking for, and she decided to name it Kobe because only a few hours earlier we had learned that Kobe Bryant had the horrific helicopter crash with 8 other people on board. So that was the name is Kobe.
She named him right because when he got up out of that fence, I could tell he was Kobe. When he got out of that fence, I wish I had that video, y'all. Some of y'all saw it. So what else we got?
Guys, we shift gears a little bit, talk some amateur hoops. Last night, shout out to the University of Houston.
Oh, my goodness.
They beat the snot out of Tulsa last night. How did you see that?
Bits and pieces. I saw when Frank Haight got thrown out the game. Then one of his players got thrown out of the game. So, I mean, you have aced, man. And y'all remember what I said last week? What did I say about that boy? Caleb Mills. Y'all talking, Caleb Mills. Jimmy, I'm telling you, Jimmy, I messed around, at first, he came to school early. I don't know if you know that. He enrolled early, out of high school. He enrolled early. So he was at U of H in there practicing in the gym with them a long time ago. And they were saying, man, by the time comes, that boy, they're going to be ready to play. He is the truth, Doc. He is the truth. Hey, man, let me tell you something. That Kevin Sampson and that coaching staff, Alvin Brooks now, those guys be so prepared, Jimmy. You know how you always talk about the scout? I'm just watching how prepared. Jimmy, it seemed like this man had put a piece of meat or a crab cake or something them boys like in the middle of the floor and say it ain't but one of them. You're going to starve if you don't get that ball. You're going to starve. That's how them guys attack the basketball. Cedric Alley, he attacked the basketball like he ain't going to eat tomorrow. Dude, that got them guys. Let me tell you something. They play Memphis on Saturday. And I'm going to just tell you, Memphis physically, it's going to be hard for Memphis to match up against these guys. These guys just too physical, man. That weight room coach, that dude in there, they talking about he highly coveted and highly heralded. Jimmy, he ain't playing no game. You met him before, right?
Which one?
Houston weight room guy, coach. They
I
straight
don't
coach.
really know him. I've met him before, but I don't really know him.
Jim, they brought him from somewhere else. They brought him in. He that dude. So, but shout out to U of H, a great. Coach Tulsa was near the top of the standings, so they whooped one of their foes. They got to deal with during the conference tournament time. What else you got?
Well, I mean, we got a couple of shout outs, of course, a U of H game. In case you missed it, guys, they 76-43,
Yeah.
and Caleb Mills with a career high 27 points in the win. During that game in the first half, midway through the first half, Quentin Grimes went out with a hip pointer. So no word. The word is expected to come today on his status for the next game or so. Once again, Quentin Grimes goes down with a hip pointer with 11 minutes to go in the first half, and the Cougars managed to put it together and run Tulsa out the gym. Also, last night, speaking of running out the gym, how about the Texas Longhorns? The Texas Longhorns picked up a solid road win over TCU, their third time beating TCU in a row, 70-56. Remember now, Texas Longhorns was without Gerald Liddell, without Matt Coleman, without Jericho Sims, and without Jace Febres from Westfield High School. That's 4 key players, and they still beat TCU by double digits.
Is that PBS school? Is that Sloan school? PBS, that's Sloan. That Sloan school be getting whooped like that?
Yes. I mean, TCU, understand.
This the Horned Frogs.
There's no way that TCU is supposed to lose by 14 points.
To Texas, a depleted Texas team.
Texas without these 4 guys. Now, Gerald Liddell had already been hurt, so that was expected. He's been hurt for a couple of weeks. But Jericho Sims, Jace Febres, and the starting point guard, Matt Coleman, and you still can't score over 56 points against this guy. So guess what happens? A kid got an opportunity who had Will Baker, and he scored 20 points. Let me tell you something. Will Baker, I did not realize this. Entering this game, Will Baker was 1 for 25 from 3-point line.
Yes.
He went 4 for 6. He was 1 for 25, guys. Remember that about playing me out of position? My kid need to be playing the 3 or the 4. He could shoot it. 1 for 25. He got in there. And so you know what the scout said probably when they got in the game?
Let him shoot it.
All the way off of him.
Yeah.
And he ended up hitting 4 out of 6 last night. It was a 2-point game at halftime. TCU was winning at the half. This was a second half surge.
Sad thing, Jimmy.
And,
it's 2 halves of play.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. And I'm looking at the stats right now.
I didn't look at them.
Andrew Jones had a career high last night, 21 points.
That's all he's ever scored?
That's his career high,
wow.
21 points. Yeah. But and also shout out to the Longhorns. And it looks like Stretch got the start. Normally in the line scores, you have box scores and you have line scores. The line scores are the condensed ones that doesn't have the whole chart like a box score, and you normally can count. They put those normally in the order of who came in the game first. The first 5 would normally be the starters.
Hey Jimmy,
so
Jimmy, where you find scores like that? Because on my computer, I got it set to nothing but the top 25. So Texas is.
click where it says top 25, and it'll drop box.
I'm messing with you. Because on mine, I don't usually have but the the top teams on my. So I didn't see the Texas TCU stats, but I was just being funny, man. Texas people, don't be mad at me. I can't say nothing right now.
Now, also last night, there was a young man from out of South Carolina, right?
Mm-hmm.
And his name is Cartier Diarra.
Cartier Diablo?
Diarra. He's a junior, right?
Uh-huh.
And so Cartier did something that was basically taboo in college basketball. During the game, during the timeout, he appeared to cuss out his coach, the head coach.
What?
This young man plays for Kansas State. During the timeout, they were going to the bench, and they had the video showing him appearing to curse. He cursed out the coach. So he's apologized. Now, my question to you guys, what should the suspension be for cursing out the head coach in the middle of the game during an ESPN televised game? Mind you, Kansas State, as it stands right now in the Big 12, they're in dead last. Oklahoma State is ahead of them. They're in dead last.
I ain't seen that one, y'all. Y'all got me on that one.
What do you think I'll read you the description of what happened. It say, Diarra is seen shouting at Coach Weber, and although Weber's back is to the camera, so it's unclear if he's shouting back, but as he continued to make his way to the team huddle, he shouts something unclear at Weber, causing Weber to turn his attention away. Diarra then claps aggressively. You know, he claps like that, like when he's talking at Coach Weber before Weber picks up a stool and slams it to the floor. You know, he didn't throw the stool at the young man. I saw the video. He picked up a stool like to say enough and just slammed the stool and broke the stool.
He's a sophomore, Jim.
Junior.
So he'll grow.
Mike Smith said, I'm sitting him down for the rest of the season.
Jim, I'm done with it.
That should be the least. You're in last place.
I'm done.
You're not going to the NCAA tournament. You're not going to the NIT tournament. You I don't know if he can't, he should not.
Jimmy, they said the man put the man back in the game, somebody said. Rick Brown said this. I'm not sure. Rick Brown said that. They said the man put the man back in the game, man.
Here's part of his apology from the young man. I just wanted to clear the confusion and apologize for making it seem as though my coach and I had an altercation. Coach wanted me to take advantage of the switch instead of shooting. And all I said was that I'm going to make the next shot. Coach knows I'm a competitor and I give my all, and all he was doing was challenging me, and that's how I responded. I was raised right, and I've never cursed at Coach Webb or any former coach for challenging me. I would love if this negative storyline would go away.
So the kid say he didn't curse. What you looking at me like that for? In your article, I don't have the article. The kid say he didn't curse it.
He says, I was raised right, and I've never cursed at Coach Webb or any former coach for challenging me. Now, that doesn't mean that could have been taken in the text of saying me? That could have mean before this point, up until last night. That could have mean I wasn't there to hear how he said it, but that I'm reading the words and it could mean that. But the bottom line is, this young man, and Ellie, you can check the video out, and it looks like he calls his head coach
what?
an itch. You can read lips. It's really quick. You guys, and that's what it
What's
looks.
the boy's name?
Cartier, Darryl. It looks like it looks like the first thing about his mouth is like itch.
Let me look at this one.
Looks like it. He might know what he might need some off or some lidocaine or whatever. He might have been itching. Todd say, put it up. Todd, I tell you what.
Man, I ain't thinking about you, Todd.
I tell you, let me see if I can.
You got to send it to me. It's got to be. You got it on what? It's according to which format?
I got it. Here you go. Here's the link, guys.
Oh, okay.
And now let me put it in there. And this link will have to where you can see the quick video. It's everything together.
Hey, King Gamble said that's why he ain't on the sideline no more. Because he know what he'll do to one of them clowns who cuss him out.
Gamble done retired. Now,
Gamble, you right. You're right.
Now, guys, that's of course that time. I want to remind you guys
What's that time?
that the high school basketball season has concluded as far as in the state of Texas, as far as the regular season that is. The regular season has concluded, and now it's time for the playoffs.
Okay.
We have brackets posted on rcssports.com. So if you go to rcssports.com along the top bar, and you will see the words playoff, right? Playoffs. And when you see playoffs, you click on that, and it will drop down the different category classifications of brackets for the greater Houston area. You can print those. That'll be great to keep. We have locations as well. You don't have to wait till the newspaper come out. That's why I tell you guys, pay attention. You pay attention because this is the type of stuff that is provided complimentary to you guys on RCS Sports. And especially it helps you guys to be informed and know what stuff is going on. You're not going to get that nowhere else. No, why? It's a lot of work that doesn't require any money from you guys to do. So I want you to pay attention to how much work that is being done. That's a lot of doggone typing that it takes to put this together for free.
Hey, y'all, let's take him to, we're going to take you and get you a Swamp Thing. Everybody on the show, we're going to take you and put in and buy you a Swamp Thing.
A Swamp Thing.
No. A crown right here. Crown with nothing in it. And then a coat. And then some water. Man, you be having about 12 drinks lined up on the thing. You have a crown right here. Then you have a glass of water. Then a glass of Coke. What you be doing with all that?
I don't do the Coke no more. I swapped it out for some club soda.
Club soda. Okay.
Yeah,
And then you talking about, then you gonna sit up and explain, it lasts longer this way. I don't want to water my drink down. So we got you. We gonna got your crown. Everybody who benefited from that, because I did, from the brackets, we gonna get Jimmy some. Hey K Cole, we gonna get him no, we don't get him no platter. He on a diet. We can't get him no platter. We gonna get him a drink. He like to drink.
No.
Look, see that? See that?
I ain't on the diet. I ain't on the diet. I'm gonna die eating. I ain't on the diet.
So Jeff, now what happened about what about the playoffs?
Now the playoffs in the 5A classification, there are some good games that are on tap, and one of the most intriguing games is Madison and Manville, first round.
Who?
Madison and Manville.
Why is that so intriguing?
Because that's a number 1 versus a 4 seed.
Oh, Madison is number 1.
Yes.
I didn't know Madison was 4A.
No, they're 5A.
I mean 5A. I'm sorry, 5A. Yeah. I didn't know that. Okay. All right.
If I'm not mistaken, Madison beat these guys last year. I'm not mistaken.
That's gonna be a good one. Okay, that's a good one. I like Manville. I like little Manville scrappy, man. I like them.
Now, I'm gonna tell you something, Howard. I have my eyes on.
Okay. What you got your eyes on?
In the 5A bracket.
Okay.
Hightower playing Sharpstown.
Yeah.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And that's part of a doubleheader at Butler Fieldhouse.
Right.
8 p.m. Monday night.
Okay.
And the game before that is Shadow Creek and Houston Austin. Okay. Well, I'm looking.
Houston Austin?
Yeah. Houston Austin made the playoffs last year. This is 2 years in a row that they've made the playoffs.
Okay.
And shout out to them. I mean, you don't see them coming, but they've made the playoffs 2 years in a row, Houston Austin. Mm-hmm. But there's a chance. The second round, if Hightower beats Sharpstown, Friendswood plays Port Arthur Memorial.
Okay.
Tuesday, 7 p.m. at Lee College. Okay. Those two will meet in the second round. Right?
Port Arthur
and Hightower.
I'd like to see that.
And remember, I mentioned earlier that Lee College could be a site, a neutral site. That's going to be out the window now because Port Arthur Memorial is playing the first round at Lee College. So no way. Remember, I suggested for those two teams to try to play at the Campbell Center. That way they can get a free game at the site of the regional tournament. Because whoever wins that game will be the favorite, one win away from advancing to the regional tournament. And now, if the winner of Port Arthur Memorial, possibly, and Hightower, possibly, if they win, guess what they could possibly face? We could possibly get
Shadow Creek.
No, we could possibly get a Bryce Griggs versus PJ Haggerty after that. That would be kind of tasty, you know.
That's easy work. We like Floyd Mayweather. That's easy work.
And PJ Haggerty is leading all sophomores in the region in scoring.
I like that, Jimmy, but I don't like to look that head. Jimmy, I got to be Sharpstown first.
But let me tell you.
But Crosby, who Crosby got to beat?
Crosby got Port Nature's Grove first, which they should beat them. And they would get the winner of Northside versus Foster. That's a real tight game.
Who in the hell is Shadow Creek playing?
Shadow Creek playing Houston Austin.
And who, if they win, who they play after that?
Nederland or Galveston Ball.
Oh, okay, I got you. Okay, all right, okay. I got you. All right. Hey, it's tasty. I think Doug said something about, man, it's some real tasty matchups right here. You got to come play.
Coach Mitchell twin is over at Houston Austin, and he's doing a super job over there.
Coach, okay, what's up, man?
Yeah, Coach Mitchell. I mean, and speaking of a super job, I'm gonna give somebody some credit right now.
Cool.
That I did not realize, and I'm gonna probably mention this on the TV show this weekend. On you guys know I'm on television Saturday and Sunday at 6 p.m. on the Cube 57 alongside Todd Freed. And we're going to talk about these playoffs this weekend.
Okay.
But Northside High School, they finished as co-district champs. Madison gets the first seed. Mm-hmm. But this is the second year in a row that Northside has won the district. Northside used to be named Jeff Davis. That school changed the name a few years ago, right? After the Confederacy overhaul of a lot of the people that names that were attached to schools that were on the wrong side of the Civil War. Well, do you know the last time that Jeff Davis / Northside won the district before last year? How about 1960? 1960. That's 60 years since this team, before integration, since this school had won first place. I checked back. Ronnie Courtney didn't win first with Carl Crawford. KJ, back in the days, Kevin Johnson, he didn't win first place when he was there. These guys, so what I'm getting at, the head coach of Northside High School, his name is Byron Shelton. Byron Shelton came out of Clearbrook High School and then he played at University of Houston. That's the son of Darryl Shelton. See, certain names. This young man is a name that I'm going to submit to a couple of ADs to get him a pay raise if HISD don't give him one after this season. Because that's what you call turning the program around.
So you get pay raises as a coach for turning the program around?
You can get a pay raise. Hell, Greg Wise has got 2 pay raises this offseason. He was leaving.
Telling all Greg business, man.
But it's news now. It's old. It's a day old. Don't know. He was gone. You guys didn't know that. Greg Wise was gone. He had accepted another job for half a day until he got home.
I got a question. Somebody had a good question for you, and you. How many? Okay, like right now. Okay. How many games does it take to win the championship? To get to the championship?
To get out of this region,
yeah,
you have to win 5 games. You have to win. It's 5 games gets you out of the region.
So somebody got to go on a 5-game winning streak right now.
Yeah.
Okay.
5 games get you to state.
And then there's 2 more games after that. Yeah. So somebody need to get on a 7. It's going to happen somewhere. Somebody right now got to get on a 7-game winning streak to win the state championship. That's right?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Okay.
So that's why you look at certain teams, even though the matchups may be tight and evenly matched for certain teams, but if you look at it, which team has the best chance to win 5 straight? And that's how you look at it. And with me, I'm looking for the teams that would be the best, have to give us the greatest odds of winning if they reach San Antonio. So those teams would be simple if I'm looking out of 4A.
Okay.
If it's Class 4A,
okay,
the best 2 teams that would fit that mold out of that Region 3 would be Yates or Lamarck.
Yates.
And both would possibly meet in the 3rd round. They would be the best chances.
Okay.
The way the style they play.
Okay.
In 5A, those best chances of representing, of winning from 5A is Shadow Creek or Hightower. The best chances of being able to dethrone Duncanville with their style of play would be Dickinson or Beaumont United in 6A. I say Beaumont United because nobody on that team gives a hoot about scoring double digits. It's going to be real kind of ugly the way they play, but you look at their score and they're going to be right there. Right there.
Hey,
you know?
Hey, boy. Hey, Rod, I know you love Yates, but you just can't say Yates going to be the only team standing after the area rounds. Hey, I know some people going. Hey, I know some other people going to be ready to go too now. Yates ain't going. I just don't think Yates going to be the only team coming out of this area going to the state.
What do you mean the only team?
He said Yates would be the only HISD. Okay, HISD team standing after the area. Okay, HISD. My bad, Rod. You're right. HISD. Okay. All right.
He said the area round. Do you understand what round the area round is? Hal?
What's that?
That's 2nd round.
Oh, that is. But he's saying Yates would be the only one in there.
So he ain't talking about in the region. He's talking about in the second, after the 2nd round.
He said no other HISD team going to be in there. That's what he's saying. HISD team.
Ron, are you talking about Class 4A or overall? That's a big question because I'm not gonna co-sign that for all classes. Are you talking about just 4A or 4A, 5A, or HISD, period?
Big man, Rod Well is JY over everybody. It's JY over everybody. Jimmy, researcher about Northside, Jeff Davis.
I got the info from the coach this morning.
He think you talking about the football team.
I got the info from Coach Sheldon.
Okay.
So I go back and double check him. I go double check him again, But that's what he told me. I wrote my notes down for 1960. Right?
Ashley said Madison might.
Well, we're going to see. We'll see how they go.
And Madison in 5A.
And Rod says all over. Rod
Rod is you can't say.
I understand why people can easily go and hate and Yates. Y'all fans antagonize people too. That's what's going. Now I see it.
It's Yates over everybody. They don't care.
You just said to hell with all your frat brothers.
Yeah.
You the only one gonna be stepping after the second round.
Oh yeah.
Nobody else can't step.
That what Rod said. Yep.
Now,
what's your trap game, Jimmy?
In which class? Give me. It's one in each class.
That's Freight. Freight, Freight like that. He love for you to say something like that.
The trap game.
Yeah.
Let's go with 6A. I'm looking at my bracket right now. I got a separate screen open. I love this thing right now.
Man, let me look at my bracket, man.
The trap game in 6A, Region 3, right, would have to be, it's a couple of them. Man. Beaumont, Westbrook, and Atascocita is a trap game. How about Elsick and Clear Lake, a 4 versus 1? That's a trap game. Because remember, it was a 3-way tie with that in that District 24 6A, Clear Lake them, and they basically separated, and so 2 seed could very well have been 4 seed. But that Clear Lake team, they're not bad guys. With Jaja Sonny and crew, they're not bad. Those would be the two ones to keep your eye on. Now, if I go over to 5A, my trap games in 5A Hatter would be Foster and Northside. Remember, Northside tied for first. And they had a gentleman's flip or whatever with Madison or whatever they did after the game, and they're going to play Foster. Foster has Big Ruben Fartery and a couple other joints players on there. This Foster team, all right,
you got to come play now.
Because of the fact that Northside, remember their big man Daniel Contreras, he tore his knee up back in the beginning of November, so he's out for the season. So this north side, they have to get it done by committee with a bunch of wings, and they're fast with guards. They got great, fast, quick guard play. But on the inside, you can see Foster going to get that ball in the Big Rube, and they're going to try to pound him inside out.
Big Rube is formidable down there.
Now, another trap game, the Madison and Manville is a trap game. So Madison gets to win and gets the reward having to play Manville. You know why? Because they beat Manville before. So they say, we'll play them again. We know just how they play. Matter of fact, I think Madison's beaten Manville 2 years in a row, I want to say. 2 years in a row, Madison has knocked Manville out the playoffs. So guess what? Give me them again. Now, in 4A Hatter, it's kind of thinner down now as far as because the haves and the have-nots are so far apart in the 4A. And they have a lot of playing games to deal. But those are some of the games that are trap games, I would say, on that.
Yeah, time up now.
So, but anyway, guys, it's make sure you go and print your copy, your bracket from off rcssports.com. Thanks so much for tuning in and making this day great on Baby Friday. Shout out to all you guys over on the YouTube channel that are watching right now. Thanks to everybody. Make sure if you hadn't done so, share the show to your timelines and friends. It's going to be great. And also in the VIP news, there's a couple of play-in games that will take place on Friday around Greater Houston. And I've typed those into the website early this morning so that you guys can get a chance to see some of the play-in. We know Cinco Ranch and Maid Creek, and there's a couple of others around the area that are taking place as well. Go and check it out and get out and support some high school basketball. Last but not least, this weekend, the Middle School City Championships is taking place Saturday and Sunday over at Booker T. Washington High School in Houston. We got many of the champions from various school districts around Greater Houston, and they're all under one roof vying for the title, the claim to take the throne of the true city champion. There's never been anything like this before. So come out if you get a chance and and take a peek at some of the stars of tomorrow in action with their teams. This is the Middle School City Championships. Both games will not start until 12 noon on Saturday and on Sunday. 12 noon, not starting no early games. The schedules are posted on the front of the RCS Sports website. You can check the schedule out there, or you may download the RCS Sports app for schedules, rules, and more information. We're going to have a DJ in the building, and that's going to be cool. Going to be a food truck on the outside. It's going to, they're going to have the snack bar on the inside. We're donating the snack bar to Booker T. Washington so that they can be able to raise funds for one of their sports programs. And mind you, we're paying for the gym, but donating it. The winner of each division will receive $500. 7th grade winner, 8th grade winner, $500. There have been a lot of smack talking. A lot of these teams hadn't lost a game all season. A lot of them undefeated.
Wow.
And
so this is the best of the best.
Best of the best.
Okay.
And the way that I set the schedule up is there's pool play, then bracket play. So it's very well possible to lose one game and still advance to the championship bracket. So I mean, you can have a bad game and still win this whole.
When is the championship game gonna be played? What time?
Sunday at about 5 o'clock.
Okay. All right.
Sunday at about 5. And so that's going to be the Middle School City Championship. Next year, we're going to incorporate girls into this event, and which once again, it's going to be a great thing. Oh, and admission is only $5. So only $5 for admission. Get on over to Booker T. Washington. See you guys. Thanks so much. I see Kevin Allen on the feed right now.
What up, Kev?
Go TSU Tigers in action this weekend.
Who they play?
Who does Tigers play, Kevin? This weekend. I'm not sure who they play this weekend.
I'm glad they ain't doing no more fight.
No, that's Prairie View doing the fight.
No, but our girls will fight.
Well, that's water under the bridge. That's old news.
Okay.
Don't mess with them Tigers.
Okay. You can have them Tigers. All right, man, let's get out of here.
Anyway, guys, we up out there, guys, on Bad Robert Allen, myself, Jim Hicks. Tell you, time to slide on down Dino's back and yabba dabba do this thing. Guess what? Don't forget Saturday night, the big fight. I know who you rocking with. I hope, boy, I got to feel this fight gonna last 2 rounds. I really do.
You think he gonna knock him out?
I think somebody gonna go down in 2 rounds. Matter of fact, I'll give it 3 by over them. 3, them do 9 minutes. Dude, that white boy ain't got 9 minutes in him.
Look what Sadea Williams said, man. She must don't know. We so glad to get out of here right now.
Hey, I gotta get over to the TV station in a second. Well, first, man, I'm gonna let them folks scrub with my dogs and get my dogs and get my nails buffed up real quick. Then I'll go to the station. I'll see you guys on Monday. Y'all be cool. Chop chop.
We out of here, baby.
Jim Hicks, Rob Hatter. You are now tuned in to the Chop Shop. I'm Retro. Let's get it. We in the Chop Shop. We live in the Chop Shop. We talking sports talk. We live in the Chop Shop. We in the Chop Shop.